to the Philadelphia Phillies, and they've been slumping pretty bad. I think they're 3-7 in their last 10. What's going on with Philadelphia?
Well, there's a lot going on. And this Phillies team that is very talented hasn't won a series since the beginning of May against the Dodgers. Now, I was high on this Phillies team and still believe they have a great roster and an ability to be a playoff team. It had been a struggle to start the year. Then you see them go into Dodger Stadium and take 3 of 4, an out or two away from a sweep at Dodger Stadium, and you think, oh boy, here's the Phillies. This is the Phillies team that went out and acquired guys in the offseason, got Schwarber, got Castellanos. Now they're going to turn it on, and we're going to see how good they really are. And we haven't seen that. They've continued to struggle after that series, have not won a series since then. Their win against the Giants the other night snapped a 5-game losing streak. They're 11-15 at home. That's the 4th worst win percentage at home in all of baseball. This is a struggle for a Phillies team that, quite honest with you, needs to be better. They've had issues all over the field. This offense that's supposed to be elite hasn't been very elite. The bullpen has been atrocious. The defense has been awful. And that's not a setup for success. When you looked at this team at the beginning of the year, you thought, okay, they're going to pitch it okay. Their defense isn't going to be great, but they're going to out-hit everyone. And the truth of the matter is they haven't done that. They haven't out-hit everyone. It's actually been pretty middle of the pack for an offense that's supposed to be one of the best in baseball. They're 11th in all of baseball in runs per game. They're 11th in team batting average at 245. They're 17th in on-base percentage and tied for 18th in walks drawn. And the Phillies batters have struck out 457 times. That's the 5th most in all of baseball. Think about that. This offense is supposed to be what carried this team. You can make up for adequate pitching and below average defense by being a top 3 offense in the game of baseball. You can put up runs in bunches and be fine. But what you can't be is a middle of the pack offense, a bad bullpen, and an awful defense. That's not a recipe for any success. And that's what's going on in Philly. That's what's going on there. They are the worst defense in all of baseball. Dead last. So yeah, middle of the pack offense, a bad bullpen that has given up a lot of runs lately. You know, they've been in a lot of games of late. Over the course of the past week, I feel like I've watched Corey Knebel blow 5 saves. Now, that's not an accurate number, but that's what it feels like. I tune in, the Phillies finally get a big late lead, and guess what? Oh, Knebel gives up a homer in the 9th inning to Nick Plummer, his first big league homer. And then the next day, Corey Knebel blows another save. And look, I don't understand how you can go out, you can do what they did this offseason, add Castellanos, add Schwarber to a team that is talented, that has Bryce Harper, that has a rotation that is serviceable. Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, some other names in there can be really good as well. But they're not a bad pitching rotation. But you go out and add Corey Knebel, who can be a good arm in the bullpen, but is he that closer? Is he that lockdown closer? And you add Brad Hand, who teams have just been getting rid of because he's not doing well at all? That's your answer? And I know lockdown closers aren't easy to come by or cheap to come by. But you're going to build your team and say you're ready to win and really not even try. I didn't hear their name involved in Kenley Jansen at all, who was a big closer guy on the market. I didn't hear their name involved there. So it's just the way this team has been built. It is good enough to win, but they have to hit better than everybody else. That's how the Phillies win. They're a top 3 offense, they're a middle-of-the-pack pitching staff, and they're a slightly below-average defense. Not the worst defense in baseball, a bad bullpen, and a middle-of-the-pack offense. That ain't going to cut it, and it's not cutting it at all right now in Philly.
Yeah, they've been having, obviously, a major slump as of late. I mean, when you're playing that bad at defense, we saw some of the plays up there while you were talking about it. I mean, it's been atrocious for them, especially in the late innings.
Yeah.
What percentage would you put? Do you have any faith that this Phillies team can turn it around and still make a chance at making the postseason?
I do. Now, we're a third of the way through the season, right around a third of the way. We're not quite there yet. So it's still early. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say they win the NL East. I don't think that's going to happen. But there's now an extra wild card team this year, so 3 are going to get in. You have to believe at least 1 comes from the NL West. Most likely 2 are going to come from the NL West. So there's a third one up for grabs. Is it going to be the Cardinals? Is it going to be the Braves? Is it going to be the Mets? Could one of those teams take over the Mets? Is it going to be the Giants, the Padres? Those teams are kind of all in a similar boat for me. I think the Dodgers are going to win the NL West, but there is an extra wild card spot, and the Phillies, I think, are talented enough to play well and to put themselves in that conversation. I truly believe that.
Oh my goodness, this guy is incredible.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.